Hello again. Now, the Ntshangase family has laid to rest 3 children who died in the horrific accident in Pongola in the northern part of KwaZulu-Natal last week. These 3 children, aged between 7 and 10, were among 20 people who lost their lives in that accident a week ago. Community is calling for justice to be served. My colleague, that's reporter Lethiwe Mdluli, following the story for us. She's joining us now live from Pongola. Good afternoon, Lethiwe. Is the funeral still underway, and how has it been for the family today?
Well, but then it's been a very, very sad day here in Pongola, where the Ntshangase family laid to rest their 3 children. The funeral actually just concluded. It started this morning at around 10, and community members were gathering outside the Ntshangase home to bid farewell to the 3 young children that sadly lost their lives during that horrific accident last week. Yesterday, of course, we were here with the Transport Minister, Lethiwe Mdluli, who released that accident report looking into how that accident actually occurred. And during those findings, when he was releasing the findings, he did share that they found that the truck driver was trying to overtake various cars on the road when he crashed into the bakkie that the children were traveling in, coming back from school. We've spoken to the family about how they are feeling losing their 3 young children. Minenhle, Nothando and Tembelihle. 2 are twins and 1 was their brother who was 10 years old. They are saying that they don't know how they're going to fill that void that has been left behind. Of course, they lost all their young ones during that crash. Tomorrow we're also anticipating that there will be a mass funeral for the other pupils that lost their lives. You'd remember that 20 people lost their lives during that accident. 19 of them were young children who were traveling back from school. While I was speaking to the family a bit earlier on, just finding out how they're feeling, especially because today was the funeral, they were saying their final goodbyes. This is what the family had to say.
Lapha uMinister ukhulume ngezinto esibonayo vele ukuthi azikho practical, udlulisa nje ukuthi sidlule. Number 1, uMinister uma esitshela ngokuthi uzovula umgwaqo. Leyo nto leyo akukho practical ngoba ama truck azoqala manje uhamba wona. Umgwaqo uyovulwa nini, sisizakale nini thina? 2, uMinister ukhuluma nge police enforcement athi uzayi-eda. Uzowa-eda lamaphoyisa akhona manje asuke ejozini, kusuka imoto eyodwa ejozini, kusuka imoto eyodwa kwaNongoma izela, ifike ngo-8-9. Lama truck aqala ukuhamba ekuseni lapha ngo-4, asuke segcwelela emgwaqeni. Le imoto zifike ngo-8-9. After that emini ngo-2-3 laba abantu bayoshayisela kwela kube ejozini, sisele thina lapha. Ngamanye amazwe asisizakele ngokukhuluma kukaMinister kusinika ukuthula.
Now, Lethiwe, I understand you also had a chance to speak to teachers from the schools that these children were going to, and they've been affected by this accident. What are the teachers saying?
Well, Braden, the teachers are devastated, of course, and we also saw some of the learners who were attending the funeral today. Emotions were running high because most of them lost their friends during that accident. One of the schools actually lost 10 learners during the accident, and the principal, I spoke to him a bit earlier on, and he says most of those learners were aged 5. They were in grade R, and some of them were in grade 1. So it's been a very difficult week for them. Of course, they've been receiving support from the Department of Social Development here in the province, but he is saying that the learners are still trying to come to terms with what happened. Just to explain a bit further also, Braden, on what the family member was saying, he was basically saying that they are not happy with what the minister shared yesterday as to the interventions that they are trying to do as government. One of the interventions that the minister announced yesterday was that they are going to expand the N2, looking at making it get 4 lanes each on each side. And he also shared that there's been about 2 billion or over 2 billion that has been saved by SANRAL to expand this road. He's also said something about increasing law enforcement along the N2 to make sure that the trucks are following all the road rules. But the family member was saying that they do not believe that this is going to happen. This is going to take years, and they do need interventions to solve this problem now, because accidents are taking place each and every day. But while speaking to the teacher a bit earlier on, who lost 10 pupils at his school, this is what he had to say.
It's absolute a nightmare. It's like one of your worst nightmares come true. On Friday, when I heard of the accident, I immediately rushed to the scene to see if I can help, and at that moment we didn't know how many of our learners were involved. So it was absolutely a nightmare. And then to go to school on Monday and to see all the teachers, you know, bereaved and crying, and the learners missing their friends. It was really, really a tough week. And yesterday we visited all the families and we were crying with them. It's very, very sad.
One of the teachers from the school where the 3 children from the Ntshangase family of Pongola used to go to. The 3 were laid to rest today. They were among the 20 people who lost their lives. We understand that 19 of them were school children. And that's the update we're having now from Pongola in northern KwaZulu-Natal from Lethiwe Mdluli.